This week, we dug into the opioid crisis in this country. A 60 Minutes Washington Post investigation showed that Congress passed a law that limits the DEA's powers to control suspicious sales of pills. Which state has the highest death rate from drug overdoses? It's not even close. West Virginia. Drug makers and wholesalers flooded that small state with huge supplies of these highly addictive drugs. Between 2007 and 2012, one of the big drug distributors shipped 20 million doses to pharmacies in West Virginia. Wood County in West Virginia has gotten far more than its share of the opioid epidemic. People have been overdosing and dying, and people like Tim Kraft say members of Congress should bear part of the blame. Kraft is a recovering addict who now helps run a faith-based recovery program in Parkersburg, West Virginia. We talked today via Skype.
In Wood County, West Virginia, we've had 335 overdoses since January 1st.
Wow, 335 overdoses, one county. How big is the county?
Our county is not that large.
How readily available are the drugs?
Oh, it's so easy to find. Like in West Virginia, it seems like it's almost part of culture. It seems like that you can almost go to anybody you know and find them. And if they don't have them themselves, they'll point you in the right direction.
These are people that have gotten drugs who really didn't need them, and now they're turning them out, they're selling them. Is that right?
So what we're finding now is people getting prescriptions, they're very overprescribed. They get large amounts. Like I've known some people that have gotten up to 8 Roxy 30s a day, which is 240 a month. And it seems like, you can't take that many, and it's a lot of money involved in it when you're selling it for $40 a pill. Times are hard, jobs are hard to find, good paying jobs are hard to find. In the coal industry, which was driven our state for years, it's bottomed out basically. So now we have a lot of people who it's easier for them to get prescriptions and sell them to get money than it is to go get a job. When
the Congress passed the legislation that we've been talking about, that kind of took the teeth out of DEA's ability to crack down on the kind of activity we're discussing, what impact did it have right there? And what do you think when you hear about all this?
Well, it's really bothersome because the impact has been that we can't get a hold on it. As many drug addicts as we're rescuing, we have that many doctors that are corrupt, and it just starts, unfortunately, it's starting at the top tiers of our government. It's hard for us to defeat a problem when the government is making decisions that are rooted in greed, that are based out of how can this benefit me, not looking out for the people, and then we don't even find out about it until recently. It's like we're fighting a losing battle at times, is what it feels like.
When you talk about the people above you, do you include the Congress members in that who voted for this legislation?
Well, I do. In this case, I do, because what it did is it made it literally impossible for the DEA to step in and put a stop to any of these orders that were way larger than they ever should have been.
Tim says people in need of recovery are having to wait for beds to open up. He says his High on Hope ministry is now having to transport West Virginia addicts out of state to treatment facilities in places like Ohio and Pennsylvania and as far away as Alabama.